it's the strangest thing. I get views on like my old videos. I guess YouTube is telling people they should watch my old videos. I don't know. Maybe they're scrolling through my videos looking for ones to flag or something. I don't know. I don't know what you're doing. Come on. Go, Roo. So, a while back, I think it might even have been last year, I don't know. I made a review of those Milestar Patagonias, and actually, yeah, I think it was a year ago because my tires are a year old now. It was last year. So anyways, I gave them a good review because I like them. I think it was my issues that killed them. But anyways, I was talking about traction control, and somebody, I guess, misunderstood what I was saying about traction control, and they're telling me that it's good. It's good because it keeps you having traction when you're off-roading, and they're talking to me like I don't know how traction control. Maybe I'm inexperienced or just ignorant or something like that. I forget what they said, but it really triggered me because they're wrong saying that I'm wrong, and there's people that don't know, I guess, because I don't think most people know, because I guess most people just think that it's safety for you, so of course it's going to work right and do exactly what you think it should. Traction control puts on the brakes, and it has a clutch. It works on the clutch, and it will put the clutch in some kind of clutch mechanism. I'm not going to say that I know exactly the mechanism that it works, but I know the result of it. You can push on the gas as much as you want, and the engine will rev up. The engine will rev up, but it won't engage. It won't engage totally. It's like a weak engagement, like you floor it and the car's going, "Rah!" it's gonna have the clutch in, and it's not gonna be engaging. It'll be like slipping, and then if you do that long enough, that's gonna damage it. And so I don't know what they're doing there, but I've had that instance when the car is driving and you stop it and you go for a walk, and it sits in a half an inch of snow, but because the tires are warm, it creates a little ice bowl that when you get back in the car, you can't drive out of half an inch, a hole that's half an inch, because it perfectly matches where all the tires are. And so you have to get out and you have to bust off the little walls on the edges of the tires, because it'll just sit there and like I said, put in the clutch, and you won't be able to spin out of the fucking hole. It's happened to me a couple times, and so I don't want to hear nobody's telling me that, oh, you're wrong, you don't know how it works. Okay, my traction control has broke on both of my vehicles. Both times. It drives better without it. It drives better without it. The only inclination for me to fix this stuff is to get rid of the little lights on the dashboard. That's the only reason why I would want to fix this stuff. That's my take. I've driven a car for over 30 years. Where's the dog? Come on. I've driven cars for over 30 years in Alaska. Come on, let's go. Hurry up. I guess we're not really going that far, are we? Come on, it was a test. You passed. 30 years. And you might say, well, you were driving illegally. Yeah, duh. I grew up in Alaska, remember? When I was 13 and 14, there was no police here. You could drive the car, just don't wreck it. I drove the car every day. It was just for fun. I used to go skateboarding and I'd go pick up my friend. My mom let me use the car so much because she worked so close to home that she just let me use the car so that I could get around and do things in the day. I had a bicycle. We'd ride our bikes sometimes. Sometimes we'd even put our bikes in the car. It was like I was a fucking adult. So we would go to places, like my parents would go to friends' houses, and my family didn't have a three-wheeler. There was no such thing as four-wheelers. My family didn't have a three-wheeler, but we'd go to places where they did have a three-wheeler. And if they didn't have kids, or if their kids were older than me and they didn't want to play with me or whatever, it'd be boring. So they didn't want the kid hanging around while they're drinking and playing cards or doing whatever the fuck they're doing. So they'd be like, hey, plus we're living out in the middle of nowhere. My parents, like really, really good friends, lived in this neighborhood that nobody lived in, but there was dirt roads built everywhere. It was like a fucking race course. And every once in a while you see a car and they're already going slow because it's a dirt road. So you just, come on, Goro, you're going the wrong way. Come on. Down here. Come on. Hey. Come here. Come here. Come here. So let's say the four-wheel or the three-wheeler is broken, or they didn't have one, but the people that I'm talking about had one. They'd throw me the keys and be like, come back and check in every once in a while. This is before cell phones. You wreck the car, you're fucking walking back. You come back hours later, well, I wrecked the car. I got the car stuck. I've got the car stuck many times off-roading a Ford Escort, like a 1987 or whatever Ford Escort, off-roading it with skateboard stickers all over it. We had a Chevy truck, an old Chevy truck that really shouldn't have been driven, but I drove that thing to school. I went to a school where it was young kids and older kids mixed together, not in the same classes, but in the same building. So they didn't know whose car it was out there in the parking lot. But I drive it to school. For people to come and say that I have no experience in driving or off-road driving or anything like that, I have to say that you're talking out your ass. You have no fucking clue of me. The things that I've got to experience from the places that I've lived are way different than you. Way different than you. I've lived in the areas that you've probably lived in too. I know how limited you are. I interact with people from the lower 48 and you guys are all suckers. I'm sorry, I wouldn't say that to your face unless you fucking egg me on like I'm some kind of idiot. I'm smarter than you. Just because I don't fucking play this role like I need people to blow smoke up my ass. It's really weird. I think I wrote society off a long time ago. I really don't care how stupid you guys get. But now that I'm older and I have a wife that wants to enjoy some of the things that you guys have, I don't really. I mean, I can enjoy things that I don't like because they are enjoyable, but it always comes back to me. It's like, this, you don't need to do this, and this isn't helping you any. This is making you have the wrong kind of understanding about life. But anyways, and I don't think I'm smarter than you, okay? I'm sorry. I'm just being a jerk. I think everybody's equal. I think I have put more things, a wider variety of things where I have a broader understanding. So I think I have a broader understanding of the world than most people. I don't think I'm smarter than you, okay? Sorry if you guys want to get triggered or something like that and then not hear my message or understand what I'm saying because I said some fucking jerky thing. I'm programmed to say that. You are too. So, I mean, get over it. Forgive me. Or don't. Go the fuck away. Who the fuck cares? Unless you're one of the people that talk, and then if you are, then you just talk, and then we'll hatch it out. We'll hash this out, and there'll be no misunderstanding of what I say. Plus, I've also told people a long time ago that I get ignored, and that doesn't fly with me. So if you ignore me, I'm gonna act out. And if I act out, then you're not gonna like it. You're gonna think, oh, this guy is, what a bad guy. But I have to act out in a way so that people will react to me, so that I know that, because I know that you heard me. I know that you guys hear me. You have every chance to hear me, and if you don't hear me, then you're a fool. You can't talk against me if you don't hear me. This guy thinking that I don't know how to air the tires down. At the time of making the video, I'm gonna say that I knew that there was a benefit to airing the tires down, and I know the reasons why. I had not had the experience in doing it very often, because I usually just didn't need to. But there is a tire science. There's a formula, and everybody can probably understand what you want to have happening. And I've even seen more things since the fact that the footprint doesn't get wider. The footprint doesn't get wider. What happens is, because it can make more contact, the footprint gets longer. And they know this by pressure plates and tracks and things like that. Trackers looking at the tracks in the mud and things like that. They air it down. You gotta go a long ways before it even starts to do something. 5, 10 pounds doesn't really even do anything. You think that it's gonna wrap around and grab onto the stuff, but that's not the way it works. So, I don't know. You can be smart if you want. Tell me I'm wrong. But you see, when I make a statement, people tell me I talk too much. So I don't tell you every aspect of the statement. I tell you along the lines of how we're talking. So I say, like, I didn't even air down the tires. You know? In the video, I was talking about not airing down the tires because I don't like to have to pump them back up again, because I drive the tires at a high pressure, and the person's telling me about person is telling me about the tires that I have on my car, the Milestar Patagonias, and they're saying, yeah, they don't grip until you get down to 12 psi, which is stupid, because he's talking like grip, like the tire is gonna go around and grab onto things. It doesn't do that, okay? It can do that, but it doesn't do that. That's not what it's doing. They know what it does. It's just like anything in the life. You can look at it and you can make an assumption, and you can test that assumption of what it's doing. So anyways, what was he saying? Oh, telling me that stuff. When, from my own experience, from the manufacturer themselves, they say that the way that the tire is designed, if you run at a slightly higher tire pressure, it takes away, it folds, it pushes, it crowns the tire so that the middle of the tire is exposed, and that's designed to be a skinny radial. It's a skinny radial, it has maximum contact, so it's like a regular car tire that goes on the road. But the lugs on the outside, because it's crowning, aren't in contact unless you go around the corner. And the wheels slightly turn in the front. They slightly angle over because of the way it pivots. So they recommend to run it a little bit higher for better gas mileage. So I run the tires at 47 psi. That's pretty high, right? When you have the tires in the off-road condition, the lugs are stiff. They don't move a lot because the tire doesn't get the flex. If the just down to like regular road pressure, like 35 pounds of pressure in there, will allow the lugs to flex, and that creates heat, and it also like breaks up, changes the area of where the mud is getting stuck, and it will break and help to free the tires. So that's why I would lower the pressure, not to grab around unless I was losing traction. But then the people are telling me that they don't even use their lockers anymore because they just air their tires down, which to me is stupid. To use the locker, all you have to do is push a button. To air your tires down, you have to let the air out and you have to put it back in. That uses power, time. It's way stupider to do that. If you have lockers, you should just engage the lockers when you need them. Duh. Tell me that I'm a fool or whatever they were insinuating. It really pisses me off, and I guess maybe if more people paid attention to me and actually gave me attaboys or whatever, I wouldn't be so defensive. But I feel like this turd gets to come out here and talk out his ass, saying that I'm bad, I'm wrong, when he's blatantly wrong, and he's talking to an audience of people that might not even understand or know what he's saying. So just destroying my credibility over nothing, it doesn't seem fair to me. So I don't know, maybe if I had more encouragement, like, I mean, I'm not saying that the people that encourage me need to encourage me more. You guys don't. You guys are good. You guys are like friends. But you know, people that don't know, maybe it's time that you start knowing. You can't just listen to something that I say and then go by that like it's gospel. Who the fuck would do that? And yeah, I probably am not the right person to follow that route. I'm not trying to give you the blueprint. I'm trying to tell you that, hey, I've been looking. I see some shit is wrong. I think if other people were to look too, we could figure this out and we could fix this shit. Probably for the benefit of people not to get hurt or whatever it is that's happening to them. Come on. At least just used. Look at this dog. Happy. They're just happy to be alive. They thought we were going to war last night. The bombs are falling. The bucket's red glare. Come on. Yeah, so what a jerk, hey? Hey? I'm gonna tell you guys, they give me the power to make your comment disappear. You don't even know that it's disappeared. I've been going through that for years. And I guess I'm a hypocrite for doing it to other people. But, yeah, I will. And I know that it's frustrating. Maybe, I don't know. These people, they gotta know. The guy's gotta know that he probably doesn't know. Does he? He probably thinks that I'm the fool. And he's gonna explain to me how it works and why I'm a fool. It's really, I guess it's really kind of sad. Maybe the guy's not a jerk. Maybe he's just a fucking idiot. I don't know. I'm sure if we asked him, he'd say he's not an idiot. So, he's probably a jerk. But I'm a jerk too, so I don't know. But when I see somebody thinking that they're so right, but yet they're so easily proven wrong, it makes me wonder, like, second guess myself, you know? What if it was happening to you? And you just didn't realize it, and everybody's trying so hard. But that scenario only works if you don't test it. Like, if somebody says, yeah, you're a moron because of this, and I'm like, nuh-uh, and I don't test it, then maybe I am a moron. But if I test it and I'm like, this is why I say this, you see this, and they're like, oh, I never did that. Well, they would never say that. They would never let you off the hook, but they just disappear. I know how this stuff goes. Anyways, they don't know me. That's like it's sarcasm. My name is sarcasm. If you guys think that it's like maybe you know me, that's sarcasm, because I know you don't know me. That's why I sing that song sometimes. You don't know me. All right. Goodbye.